Okay, this isn't my camera, and this is a video response, by the way, to what you just wrote. So, I know that eventually you'll get to see it, but right now, you probably won't get a chance. But I know that you'll probably search up my video eventually, and you'll see a response to that. But anyway, the response is basically based off of your video on Infamous 2 updates and ideas. I had an add-on for that. Remember how you said that you read a theory once about making 2 entirely different stories? Let's add on to that for a second, because I saw the other video as well. The menu would open up similar to Infamous 2, where it says good and bad ending and whatnot. I'm replaying the story, by the way, so that's why I don't have all the powers, so don't complain. Anyway, so it adds on to play from evil karma or good karma, but it has a totally alternate new mode. Either way, whatever thing you choose starts you off with a different story. So if you choose evil karma, it adds on to the evil ending from Infamous 2. If you start good karma, you add on to the good version of Infamous 2. Either way, you're playing a whole new story both ways. Now this idea might not sound perfect, but wait till I get to my implied mode. Now if you do the evil thing, you get everyone's a conduit. And if everyone's a conduit, what does that imply? New multiplayer. Of course. Now that you've got a bunch of everyone running around being a conduit, there could be like little mini battles or something where you could not just be playing as a bunch of coals running around shooting at each other, but you get totally new powers, and you get to play as lots of different people. Same general aiming and shooting concept, but you know, just different powers, not just grenades or kinetic pulse or whatever you had in the second one, Cole's powers. You got totally new controls for multiplayer, but regular for the add-on story mission for bad. Now, that would just be multiplayer for bad karma if you played through that part of the story. Now, then you'd get a good karma thing, and it would be a totally new story without the multiplayer mode, because, you know, you just can't. But there'd be a different thing where you still have UGC, depending on which story you choose. And the story basically adds on to, you know, the lightning bolt struck Cole on the boat or something, and he survived, and they add on to that part of the story, and there's a new threat, and whoever you could imagine, or Kessler somehow survives, because where did Kessler go in this? Yeah, I mean, he was mentioned in a dead drop, and he was mentioned at the beginning of this story, but other than that, he was totally dropped. Did he die or something? No. He disappeared for a short while. Kessler's the main threat again, and he's displeased with you because his main purpose was to try to get you not to side against the beast, so basically he's all angry at you and stuff, and he tries to kill you, and you're battling him, and he becomes somehow the new beast by another Reyes fight sphere. And it's not a ray inhibitor or anything. He just somehow gets another ray sphere, activates it, gets angry at Cole, develops new powers, makes conduits, and then there you go. There's your next story for you, and you still get the multiplayer. So either way, you get multiplayer, but it's a little bit different depending on which story you choose. So basically that was my whole idea, was adding on multiplayer, but also choosing the menu and making two different stories off of the menu. So whichever story you want to hear first. And then you get to go back and play the other story, and then it gives you all the powers you could have had either way, like it did in this one, where you could have any of the powers no matter what your karma state was in this game. Something like that. A little prize at the end of finishing both stories and getting to see both stories. That offers, think about that, that offers lots of gameplay. Lots. Hours and hours. And if you're a hardcore Infamous fan, this would totally be like heaven for you. I don't know how you might react to this idea with the adding on multiplayer, because I was a little disappointed that this was basically a single player mode. But I wasn't disappointed too much. Oh, look at that, I can't get the dead drop. But I think they could have added more. And this is the opportunity to do, hint, this is a multiplayer thing. However, I saw a comment on one of your videos, no, this would completely ruin the franchise. Yeah, I don't know what Infamous players are looking for in this game. I don't know whether or not they want it, or they want a third one or not. I don't know how they would react to a multiplayer mode. I don't know whether they should just keep the Cole how he is and not add on anything, or not add on other characters. But here's one more idea that I had. Now, the Son of Cole video, not a very good video, but still, added on a new aspect for me. Now, this aspect completely be countered by the ray field and whatnot, and having the whole ray sphere gets rid of all conduits idea. Well, listen. What if the conduit gene was inactive and then it became activated as soon as Cole reactivated the inhibitor? So instead of taking away powers, it again reverse technologies the ray sphere again and activates conduits in an alternate way. If that happens, then you should play as a totally new conduit. Not Cole with his lightning powers, but like a totally new one. Maybe a female character of some sort, and they have their own little story that they get to choose. And then that conduit meets Cole, or something like that. Maybe not Cole, but, and they are like a power duo, kind of like this one, and it's Infamous 3, but it's a totally new character and a totally new story, since this one's ended and Cole's dead. So that was my third idea. Now again, that might have some bugs and some bad kind of interference with the original Infamous story, and people might not be too pleased with hearing that there'd be a totally new character. But again, what did Assassin's Creed do? We had Altair, we had Ezio, and now in Liberation or Assassin's Creed 3 we have Connor, and there's the female character. So why not add on to the same general aspect of having a female character in this game? Or having a totally new story, not with Cole. I mean, same general controls and everything, just a different story. So basically those were all my ideas, and I wanted you to witness this and make it famous so that every one of the Infamous people could you know, make a comment on it and tell me how I did. So basically this was the whole, I want to share my ideas since everyone else is sharing theirs. Now you can leave hatred things or that was a good idea thing. What do you think about it? Add on to it. Critique it, if you will. But that was my idea, so hope you enjoyed this little video and gameplay, sort of Infamous 2, and think about my Infamous 3 ideas. Thanks.